Alright, hey guys. I love movies, my favorite form of art and media right next to music. I'm not gonna bullshit you and say I've watched a ton of movies. There's a lot of movies that everyone has seen but me. I just really need to be in a movie mood. And I'm also not gonna bullshit you saying I have unique taste. I have the opposite of unique taste. Go to IMDb, top 500 movies of all time. There's my top 20 right there, minus a few films. Yes, I'm a base film bro. Yes, my top four are Taxi Driver, Interstellar, Fight Club, and Akira, but that doesn't count, I guess. So let's not discuss my taste in film. Let's discuss stuff I don't like that everyone else seems to like. I'm gonna be talking about movies I think are overrated. Film discourse online is fucking brutal, and so I feel like I have to say, you don't gotta agree with anything I say. This is just my point of view, and like always, feel free to comment what you think. I'll start with 3 films that are considered some of the greats. Kinda. You'll see with the third one. For the first one, I'm just putting it here to say something specifically about it, because the film itself is pretty good. I'm talking about Schindler's List. Again, the film is really good. I just wanted to say something really quick about it that I didn't feel when watching it. I've read everywhere, countless times, that this is the sad movie. You will bawl your eyes out watching this. I honestly didn't feel any sadness watching it. I wasn't not emotionally moved by the film. The gas chamber scene is probably the best depiction of what going into a gas chamber would be like, even though you know how that plays out in the end. And the final scene where Oscar breaks down while saying, "I could have saved more," that was definitely hard-hitting. I was definitely moved in other ways watching it. I just didn't feel sad. It's really fucked up to say this, but I honestly think I've been desensitized to the Holocaust. For the most part, at the time of recording this actually, we dedicated today in my history class to the Holocaust, and there were more things I learned about today about it that actually did move me for the first time in a while. But I feel like with the amount of Holocaust-related media there is to consume, I just don't feel as touched by it anymore. And it feels wrong to say. It feels really wrong to say. But I'm being dead serious. Of course, still watch Schindler's List. It's a really good movie and very historically accurate. Now on to the real opinions, and I'll let Family Guy speak for me.
But since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
What?
Did not care for The Godfather.
How can you even say that, Dad?
Didn't like it.
Peter, it's so good. It's like the perfect movie.
This is what everyone always says. Whenever they say,
Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. I mean, you never see Robert Duvall.
No, fine actor. Did not like the movie.
So yes, I sort of don't care for The Godfather. This film isn't bad at all in my opinion, but I found it to be just okay, which is crazy because this film is literally hailed as the best of the best. So let's start with what I like about the film. The aesthetic they went for works perfectly. It helps it separate itself from the many other mobster movies, which may seem like clones at first glance. With The Godfather, you know that's The Godfather, and it just looks cool. The entire first half of the movie is really good. The horse head scene, of course, the confrontation in the store, and I love this scene of the guy getting his shit beat near the fire hydrant. So that's what I liked about the movie. What I didn't like, straight off the bat, entire second half, when the location of the film changed to Italy, I completely tuned out and was really bored watching the movie. I honestly can't pinpoint exactly why, but I just felt like it slowed down so much, and that really didn't help considering I think the entire movie is a really slow burn. As much as I enjoyed the first half, I still thought it was really slow. In fact, you're gonna notice a theme of slowness in this video, but back to The Godfather. That's really what killed the experience for me. The wedding portion at the beginning honestly feels like its own movie. I swear it kept going on and on. But there's my take on The Godfather. So for our final 2 movies, they're not exactly hailed as super good, but they're a part of one of the most famous franchises of all time, Star Wars, Episodes 1 and 2. And I blame nostalgia nerds on the internet for the fact that these 2 films are now liked. Listen, the sequels were pretty bad. I will not deny that. The Last Jedi is one of the stupidest films I've ever seen, but that doesn't make The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones any better, in my opinion. Leave Revenge of the Sith out of this. I will not tolerate hate for Revenge of the Sith. In general, my take on these movies is that they are nothing burgers. Specifically, The Phantom Menace. I've seen this film maybe 3 times. I don't know what it adds to the story other than Anakin, and he doesn't do a lot. It's mainly Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. Don't get me started on Darth Maul. He got justice served to him in later Star Wars media. But in this movie, he is just a villain? That's the best way to describe it. He has no arc, no origin. He's just the bad guy. And of course, you. Attack of the Clones is at least better, but the same thing. It doesn't add much to the story, and it's just a bit meh. Fight scenes in this movie are at least pretty good, so that's a saving grace. But as I said, I'm bringing these two up because the sequels were so bad that people are now acting like the prequels were good. Dude, no. So, a lot of these are horror movies. So let's jump into overrated horror movies. Beginning with... fuck this movie. I will never forgive this movie. So, you'll probably see Gonjiam Haunted Asylum listed in a lot of horror-related YouTube videos nowadays, because that's how this film has recently blown up. A lot of horror channels are recommending it. Don't do it! I beg you, do not do it! Stay away! This film has an interesting premise, but it goes downhill pretty quickly, and by quickly, I mean 30 minutes into the movie. Basically, this movie is so slow. Nothing happens in the fucking hour and a half. I had to search up the length because I thought it was 2.5 hours. It fucking felt like it. All the horror is in the end, and the scariest part is this ghost woman yapping at 0.5 lens. Don't listen to what these horror YouTubers have been saying. I put this on at sleepover because I heard it was a scary horror movie, and we all tuned out. It put one of my friends to sleep early. Next film, Friday the 13th. First one. Dude, how the fuck did this become a franchise? This film sucks. You're telling me this deserved 11 sequels? This movie's just boring in my opinion. Literally the definition of a slasher film. A killer kills people and the killer is mysterious. That is exactly what happens in the first Friday the 13th film, and nothing else. Also, I found the acting genuinely horrid in this movie. Did anyone else? So, this next one, I might have to watch again, but it's Bram Stoker's Dracula. I watched this a long time ago, and it was the first movie to pretty much make me fall asleep. This is supposed to be a very accurate adaptation of the original book, and you can tell because the series of events in this movie is made for book length. Also, I swore that Dracula was in this movie for 20 minutes. The best way I can describe it is there were too many side quests in this movie. Not enough Dracula. Again, I haven't seen it in like 5 to 6 years. Next film, this one pisses me off. Everyone treats this film as if it was the scariest movie of the 2020s so far. I predicted every jump scare in this movie. Smile. You see this video right here? B to the S. Bullshit. This movie sucked so bad. It was boring. It was predictable. The best jump scare was in the trailer. Of course, the entity smile thing was cool, but that's the last 10 minutes. This movie pisses me off. It's not as good as everyone keeps saying it is. Last one, because when I watched this, I was genuinely surprised that people liked this movie. A Quiet Place Day One. This has to be one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen. First off, the plot, or what there is of a plot, is so boring. Nothing makes sense in this movie. There are way too many scenes where so much noises and commotion is being made, and the fucking creatures are nowhere to be found. The movie opens with a statement about New York being the world's loudest city, yet apparently it was so loud that the creatures had to take a break or something. The characters, though. Dude, these characters are way too boring. The main protagonist has nothing going for her other than she doesn't give a fuck about the situation and really likes pizza, but that's her character. Ugh, 3 out of 10 movie. I don't know how or why people liked this. So, I've saved two films for last because these are my two most controversial, overrated takes. I see too many people defending these films. I'll get into the more controversial take because I have a lot more to say about the other one. I get met with so much negative reaction whenever I say this, but one of the most overrated films in my opinion has to be the Lego Batman movie. Man, I just didn't like this movie. I'm not one of those people who thinks Batman should be exclusively mature and rated R, but I don't rock with this movie's, I guess, fun appeal. In general, I think they should have stopped it at the Lego movie. The Lego movie is a treasure, in my opinion. I think it's one of the best movies ever made, and it has a very good message attached to it. With all the other Lego movies, I feel like they're too lost in trying to find what made the Lego movie special. And the Lego Batman movie specifically has that problem. It tries to have all the crossovers and cameos and all the humor, and even tries to share the message, but I feel like it only really succeeds in some of the jokes. The crossovers here felt way too forced, and I did not care for the message of the film. This is one of those movies you literally can't say anything about. Everyone just slaps masterpiece on it and makes it a bit hard to point out stuff you didn't like. So there's probably my hottest overrated take. But we're not done yet. I need to talk about one more film. I need to. I tried so hard to convince myself this film was actually good, and I missed something, but I didn't. I genuinely just didn't like it. Inglourious Bastards. I've been told way too many lies about this movie. I'm just gonna go off on Hans Landa, okay? I've seen so many people preaching some shit like Hans Landa has to be the most evil villain ever. Be so dead ass. Not only is he like an okay character, dude is nowhere near most evil villain. I'll go ahead and say what was on my mind the whole film. He is just another Nazi. Other than his obvious manipulation skills, he does stuff in this film that I've watched fucking nameless Nazi characters in Schindler's List do a million times. I don't find anything remarkable or special about his fucking character. He's just an average Nazi villain. Now, onto the film itself. Define dragging on. This film, in my opinion, fucking drags worse than pretty much most films I've seen. The opening scene starts out promising, but they just keep talking. And they keep talking. Finally, he fucking kills some people, and that's it. Why the fuck did they have to talk for so long? And not just the beginning scene. It felt like every minute of this movie just fucking keeps going because some character won't shut his mouth. When we get to the bastards themselves, and Brad Pitt hypes up the bear Jew, dude, just shut up and let the bear Jew do something. Stop talking so much. There's way too much talking in this movie. Also, fire the sound design team, bro. Maybe it was an artistic choice, but there's barely anything in terms of sound in half of the movie. And if it is an artistic choice, it doesn't fucking work, at least for me. I forced myself to watch this because every other Tarantino film I've seen is like Chef's Kiss. Again, I genuinely thought I was missing something, but no, this film just sucks. I hate it. Anyways, there's some movies I think are overrated. Before we end this video, we just hit 200 subs. Thank you guys. It means a lot. Good talk.